Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Faith Through the Fire podcast. I'm your host, Kayla, and today we're back again, baby. We're back again with you are like competing with my sister on most times on the podcast. Congratulations. Thank you again for being on here today.
Welcome.
How do you feel? Do you feel like a star now?
Yeah, I'm professional at this.
Guys, ask her for her autograph when you see her next time. All right, well, today we're kind of just going to dive deep into you and your story and what the Lord's doing in your life. So we're going to actually just jump right in.
Okay.
So if you didn't watch the first episode with Kylie, she kind of touched a little bit about like her upbringing, her faith, everything, but we're going to dive deep. So, okay, you mentioned how, like, obviously you grew up in a Christian home. You kind of had a faith your whole life. In college, your faith was maybe a little bit, like, not on fire. Also knowing you, I know that you were in a, like, 5-year on and off relationship during, like, your college years. Talk to me about that and where you're at with the Lord during that time.
Okay. So, like I kind of mentioned, I grew up in a Christian home, so prior to college, I was still attending like youth group, and still going to church, and I went to Liberty University, or I decided I was going to go to Liberty. So the Christian aspect of Liberty was super important to me. I didn't want to go to a secular school, so that was good. But then very early into my going to school, I was talking to a guy, and then pretty shortly after I got there, we decided to start dating. And being a Christian, you know, like relationships, like you want to be intentional, and I never like was in relationships growing up. Like I wasn't allowed to be in a relationship growing up, and I also knew if this person didn't have potential to be my husband, then I didn't want it. Which it was great. Like the intentions were good, but I got into a relationship with the guy I was talking to, and yeah, it was a long distance relationship. So it wasn't like he was at college with me going to church or like experiencing the things that I was experiencing. So, yeah, being there kind of like by myself and like we're not together, that's hard just in general. But it also just like wasn't a relationship where we were both equally yoked. And I wasn't in a place in really my faith to set like I wasn't like super solid where if I noticed that like this other person like wasn't, you know, doing all the things that I felt like we should be doing as Christians, like I just wasn't at a place where that was going to be like, all right, I'm not going to be in this relationship anymore. I didn't really have the boundaries, or I didn't set those boundaries. So it was just during that time, I think like you're learning so much about yourself, and obviously I was learning about me, and Liberty is a Christian school, so we had to go to convocation. But now being in college, it was like my time to you really have to make your faith your own if, you know, you hadn't already done that. And I kind of did, but now you're not in your hometown. Like you don't have like your home church that like you're just, you know, of, and you're going to go there every Sunday. So if you like wanted to church, you had to find a church. And I think I was just like kind of embracing freedom of the time. And I was like, oh, I'm sure, like I'll go to church, you know, I'll find a church. And then I did, but it was mostly to do, this is so bad. It was mostly to do like volunteer work at, and like they had 2 services. So they were like, this is terrible. Like, we want you to serve one and then attend the other, because we don't want you to just like serve and get your community service hours and then not attend church. Well, yeah, I basically just like served and got my hours and didn't really attend. So I don't know. It was like very interesting. It was a very interesting time, I guess. So I wasn't really going to church, and I was in this long distance relationship where like we were both Christian, but it was like, we're kind of like lukewarm Christian. So it wasn't something that was like pushing me like closer to the Lord. Like I had to just kind of like be strong in my own faith, which I wasn't doing like a great job at.
In recapping, like kind of what you're saying is like you and your ex were not on the same terms as far as like maybe not like the same spiritual maturity, but
Yeah.
also you maybe weren't mature enough in your faith to also like stick up for your convictions and what you
Mm-hmm.
knew. Kind of putting the pieces together, I'm hearing that like maybe you guys weren't like super pure in your relationship. How did that affect your relationship with God? Did you feel guilty? Like, did you kind of just shut him out? I know for me, like, when I was kind of starting to pursue the Lord, but still falling into that, like, I felt like the two were separate. I couldn't go to the Lord if I was doing that. And so, like, some days I'd be with the Lord and, like, being what I thought was good in my head. And then other days I'm, like, fully living in sin, not acknowledging the Lord. What did that kind of look like?
Yeah. So, yeah, we were not like living purely, and we were not obviously like living a relationship that was glorifying to the Lord. Um, I think definitely at first I had those convictions, because I was a Christian, um, but like honestly, like it didn't like take very long for me to kind of just like shut that
Yeah.
off, and I was kind of like, all right, well, if this is like it was almost like I'd rather just like live in sin and not feel the conviction, so I just kind of shut it off, and I was like, well, I kind of just want to live in sin, and like I kind of want to just do what I want like in this relationship, and like it, in college and that sort of thing, without feeling the conviction, because that's hard.
What do you think made you, like, get to that place?
Well, I am like I like we kind of talked about in our first episode, like I'm not a big people pleaser, or I don't feel that I am. So I kind of was like, well, if this is a decision I'm gonna make, then I'm just like it is what it is, and I'm gonna own it. And I didn't want to be like wishy-washy. Like I didn't It's kind of like contradicting, because I didn't want to be like lukewarm, but I was lukewarm. But like I don't know. I wasn't really like hiding it, I guess.
Yeah.
But like I still wanted my faith, but I wasn't gonna hide what I was doing, and I don't know. It was just a mess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I just got to a point where I just rather live how I wanted, and I didn't want to feel guilty, so I just decided I wasn't gonna feel guilty.
Yeah. So you're kind of in and out of this for 5 years, 3 years, and then you guys were like still kind of a thing for 2 years. Talk to me about the place you got to like fully get out of that and fully give your life back to the Lord.
I would say that like having been in that relationship for a few years, and like again, like I wanted, like if I'm gonna date someone, like I want marriage, and like I wanted that, or I thought I wanted that with this person. And um basically just like at the time of our like official breakup, like he told me that like he didn't know if that was gonna be a thing. And so then the on and off part, and us like continuing to hang out, I had like obviously felt that initial like sort of rejection from our breakup, and then over like the next year and a half, like I was like sticking around hoping that he would change his mind, or he would like suddenly realize that like he wanted to marry me and wanted the life that like I had wanted for us. Um And obviously that was very like damaging, um, because I I was really trying to earn this man's love and like earn the future that I wanted and I thought that I needed at that time. So it really took like distance. This person like was no longer like living like near me, and unfortunately it took like him like moving on. Like I was so stuck in that cycle of like I want this, and like I feel like I'm a very loyal person, so I'm like I want this, like I will do what it takes like to make this work. And it really like took him like completely moving on and just like distance for me to like just break. um Obviously like during the course of those like 4.5 years, I put this man on a pedestal, and like truly like my every thought, like my actions reflected, I feel like, my desire for this relationship and this man. And so in him like moving on and like finally like being able to express like clearly to me like I do not see a future for us was obviously devastating. It just, that really was like the moment where I was like, okay, like I have to like move on with my life, and I don't know what I'm doing. Like I was working so hard for this future, and now like I have no idea like what my life is gonna look like. And I think a lot of this also stems from like all I've ever wanted to be is a wife and a mom. And so like some people will be like, oh, your career and stuff, like none of that matters to me. So I'm like, I did like the long distance for 3 years, and like even like we weren't even officially together, and I'm still putting in the work, and then like what do I have to show for it? Like nothing. So it felt like, okay, I don't even know if literally my dreams are going to come true or if that's going to happen for me now. Um, so yeah, it really like took him moving on for me to like be like, okay, either I stay stuck and like literally have no self-respect and continue to try to fight for this, or I have to like I have to just seek the Lord because my way and my plan did not work out.
I think so many women can relate to you,
Yeah.
which literally shatters my heart.
Yeah.
Um, because it's true. Like, yeah, there's so many ways we could take this. I guess I want to ask you, like, what were some of the ways you were doing to try, like, what are some of the things you were doing to try and earn his love and earn, like, him choosing you?
Oh gosh. I mean, just like everyday. I mean, like everyday things like I was being full wifey. I was just like, I mean, constantly just like trying to like be there for him, like support him, encourage him, cook some cook some food for this man, some sweet treats, like bring it to his work, like really just like lots of acts of service, words of affirmation. Like I feel like I was praying for us like on both of our behalf. I'm praying for him, I'm praying for me, I'm praying for us. And like mind you, like during this time, um I think like it's important, I like was praying like for the Lord's will.
Yeah.
And like I was praying for this relationship, and I was like, okay, I really want it, but like that, I did still have my faith. Like I was, kind of living two lives. But I like really was praying for the Lord's will, and I was like, Lord, please help this to like work. Like I want it to work, and I prayed for that, but I'm like, but I do want your will, and like if this isn't for me, like you're gonna have to like figure this out, because I don't think I can walk away like myself.
I just kind of asked that because if you are someone in a relationship maybe like this, I think I just want to like bring awareness. I think we can do it. Like you probably in the moment didn't even realize that how desperately you were trying to earn his love. And I think it's just so important to like go back to what the Lord does say about like being pursued by a man, and like that is their job. And you know, it does go two ways, and if you are the only one kind of pouring into it, like that's a major red flag and not going to be a good marriage. And I think looking back, you can probably look now and be like, I'm so glad I didn't marry him, because it would have, yes, you would have become a wife and a mom, but it would have been the most miserable thing ever, and you would have gotten so hurt, you know? And so I can look back on different relationships that I really wanted to work out and be like, wow, like, yes, we would have made it work, but praise God, because we weren't his best for each other, and it would have, a lot of hurt would have happened. And so that's also some encouragement for anyone who is like getting out of something like that, of just like, yes, you want to be a wife and a mom so badly, and I think that's a beautiful thing that the Lord will give at some point, but you want it to be with his best for you, or else it will be very hurtful.
There is like definitely an important part of the story that I did not share, and it's like coming to me. When I first went to college, you know, I'm at this new school, like this is a whole new experience for me, and I was like talking to this guy. So I had honestly felt, I know it was the Lord, like I knew it was the Lord then, like, but like even more so now, like I felt the Lord say like, you need to stop talking to this man. And I was obedient, and I was like, I feel that I need to stop talking to this man. And so I did. I called him up and I said, I think we need to stop talking, and I need to focus on what the Lord has for me here, and like focus on my school and like this new experience. And I did it. And 24 hours later, 24 hours later, he respected that I didn't want to talk anymore, so he didn't talk to me. And I said, oh, wait, are you actually not going to talk to me? And I started talking to him again. And then it was probably 2 weeks after that we decided to be in a relationship. So it is so interesting to just see how things played out. And like, I think that's such a testament to the free will that we have, and like the free will that the Lord gives us, because I mean, he tried to warn me, and like I heard it and I felt it, and like that was like obviously hard, and I was a baby a little bit, and like 24 hours was not a long time to like really let it play out. But like he let me get into that relationship, and like he's a big God. Like he could have really stopped that some way somehow, but like nope, he let me. And 3 years in that relationship, and like not the perfect relationship whatsoever, and then like a year and a half even after that, like I was still like stuck in it. Like I was in it. And so yeah, it's just like crazy. And like obviously it took like that really like broke my broken self, and like that whole situation to like really realize like, oh my gosh, like what am I doing?
I think that's, again, just so relatable, and also beautiful that you can kind of see now that like, yeah, the Lord gave you the chance for free will. Like you had the chance to obey or to not obey, and you obeyed for 24 hours, but then you did it. And so now you get to look back, and like when you know the Lord's asking you to do something, now you get to like, what it's like looks like to disobey, and the heartache that maybe he would have saved you from had you not done that. But also his grace is so amazing to have allowed you to walk through that and come out on the other side and get to like speak into that of like, if you feel the Lord say something to you, like no matter how hard it is, obey, because you have no idea what he's saving you from. And even if you don't feel like the Lord speaks to you, like I know that the Lord gives you peace. And I have like even gone on dates with people, incredible people, and I just have so much peace that they are not someone that I should get into a relationship
Right.
with. They're not someone that is who the Lord has for me. And as hard as it is, like, truly, I have to listen to that,
Right.
because I know that if I pursue something with him, I will be being disobedient.
Mhm.
Even if I don't necessarily feel like I hear the Lord say that, it's deep in my spirit, like this peace factor. And so it is so important to listen to that, because I have also not listened to that at times. And again, like, yeah, you get so hurt. And like, if only we just listened to the Holy Spirit and did
Yeah.
it God's way, like, truly, he's saving us from so much hurt.
Yeah. It really did, like, show me that his, like, way, like, he has the best plan. And, like, I put in the work, like, years. I put in the work for that, and something that, like, just was not for me, obviously. But yeah, it was interesting.
Give me a little bit of encouragement to the girl who is in that, who is stuck in this relationship of desperately wanting it to work out, desperately trying to make it happen, doesn't have peace, it's just so broken. Like, what encouragement did you need at that time?
I think the biggest thing that I realized was just, like, I was chasing after, like, someone that didn't, like, fully want me. And, like, it took completely surrendering that to the Lord and, like, sitting at his feet to, like, really, like, recognize that, like, God, like, chooses you every time. Like, he wants you, and, like, he wants me. And I, like, was giving, like, my whole self to somebody else. And, like, the Lord wants you, and, like, he's running after you, he's pursuing you. Like, he's so good, his love for you is so perfect, and, like, he wants you to receive it. And so, like, it really just, like, took that moment. I was like, he wants me, and I don't have to earn his love. Like, I don't have to perform, I don't have to say all the right things. Like, I don't have to perform any acts of service for his love and, like, his desire for, like, my heart. And so, like, just, like, honestly, my encouragement is, like, just sit at his feet and, like, just ask him, like, Lord, is, like, this your best? And, like, if you're feeling, like, a lack of peace, like, you're feeling anxious all the time, like, you're questioning, like, where you stand in your relationship, like, not always, but, like, if you're just, like, you just have so much confusion or, like, unsureness, like, the Lord, well, first off, pray the Lord for the Lord's will. And, like, if this isn't for me, like, get rid of it for me. But yeah.
Like you're saying, if you don't feel strong enough to leave, like, you can ask the Lord to
He will.
be able to do it every single time.
He will do it.
We're rapidly losing daylight, and so if you're watching this, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
But no. You're kind of healed, whatever. Speak into that a little bit. But talk to me about where you are now and kind of what you're believing for the Lord now that he hasn't done in the natural yet.
Okay. So I think one of my prayers, like, after spending all that time was, like, Lord, I wasted so much time. And it's not a waste because I learned so much, but, like, I spent so much time on something that wasn't for me. I just pray, like, honestly, like, Lord, let my healing be quick. And it, he determines how long it's going to take to heal. But I'm like, please, like, don't let me waste any more time, like, on this. Like, I don't want to waste any more time on something that's not for me. So, like, fix my eyes on you and you alone, and, like, help me pursue you, like, high key the way I was pursuing, like, this relationship. And he, like, was so faithful, and I feel like my healing, like, was relatively quick from something that I feel like probably should have taken a while. But yeah, he's so good, and I'm so thankful that he brought me out of that situation. Like, I couldn't save myself, and really, it's only going through that I'm where I'm at in my relationship with the Lord. And then you asked,
What are you believing the Lord for?
What am I believing the Lord for? Well, I was still would love to be a wife and a mom one day. So like I'm like praying with authority for that. But I know that obviously his timing is so perfect. And I also have just been really feeling lately like the Lord being like, don't miss what I have for you right now. And it's been a journey to live a life of contentment. And I think like it is so scary like leaving a relationship and now you're like I have no idea what my future looks like in that area, or in general like anything could change, but I just like have so much peace knowing that like he's got it figured out and like his plan for me is better than my plan. And yeah, I just like really want to be content in him and him alone. I was really trying to find all the things in a relationship that wasn't for me. So yeah, I I like still wrestle with it. Sometimes I'm like, because you want something so bad, and it's not even like it's something that I feel like the Lord wants for so many of us and like has planned for us. It's just like really about his time. But also like you never know too. So I'm like, you know what? I want to be so satisfied with the Lord and the Lord alone that like if that never happens, which is so scary, it's scary and makes me sad sometimes to think, but I'm like, if the Lord doesn't give me those things, I will be okay. And like I will be more than okay because he is the only thing that can satisfy.
I think that's beautiful for you to say that, and that is like the epitome of faith, is like even if the Lord won't do it, like I will still praise him, I will still be okay, I will still find all of my satisfaction in him. And it's not a feeling, it's a choice.
Yeah.
And in a world and a culture where we're so fixed on our feelings and our truth, like it is so important to remember that faith is not a feeling, it's a choice. Choosing to be satisfied and finding your joy in the Lord is not a feeling, it's a choice. And so I think that's so beautiful. Talk to me quickly about just like what you've learned about the character of the Lord in this season.
A song that had me during early college when I first decided, or like I heard from the Lord to like not get in that relationship. The song that was really wrecking me was Goodness of God, and I know that's so popular now, but like this was like 2019, so it's been a minute. But like even now I just think I'm like that song is just such a reminder of who he is. I've just seen his goodness and I've seen him running after me and like chasing me, and he's just like so faithful. And I just honestly like I just feel so blessed. So the first thing that comes to mind is like just like his goodness, and his love for me has been so prevalent. It's like been the like hardest like year of my life, but like the best year of my life. And like he like turns graves into gardens, and like he sees the tears, he sees the heartache, and like I know that like he sat with me, like he was wiping the tears and all the things. So just like how loving he is and how faithful to like his children he is.
That's so sweet. And like just to brag on you for a sec, like I'm so proud of you, first of all, but second of all, like when I met you, you were still like really healing from the whole relationship. And even to just see like the way the Lord, you have allowed the Lord to heal your heart and allowed him to help you move on, because the Lord's never going to force anything on us. You could have stayed wrapped up in that, you could have kept trying, but you allowed him to come in and completely take over your heart and your soul and your mind from that. And that is really hard and a really painful process, but watching you just like surrender to him in just fully and completely all that he wants to do in you, like he has just done such a beautiful work in you, and you are such a beautiful soul and such a beautiful just woman of God, like truly woman of God. And I'm just proud of you, and I'm really honored that I've gotten to watch that and to be your friend and to just like live with you and everything. Like, I love you so much. But
So much.
yeah, I guess when we wrap up, it is literally dark outside. What any last words of encouragement do you have? Any last thing you want to say?
I think just the Lord's plan is just like so much better. It's so much better. And like he wants to give you more abundantly more than you could ever ask. And even though like he hasn't like given me those things, this year alone is abundantly more than I could have asked in literally every other area of my life. And like if you are like in the healing process, like just fix your eyes on him. Like pray, like Lord, like let my thoughts be of your kingdom and like of you and nothing else, because it can be so hard to like not be consumed by that healing. And like just pray that like he heals you in all the ways you don't even know you need. And like that was like my constant prayer. And yeah, just that like your heart would be like reflect the desires of his heart. I feel like that's like so transformative and such an important prayer. So yeah, that'd probably be it.
That's so good. You're so wise, and I just can't wait to see what the Lord does in your life and the husband he does bring. And you're going to make such a great mom and such a great wife. And I'm honored to get to witness that. And so thank you again for coming on, for just sharing, being vulnerable. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Just know that we love you. We're praying for you, and we'll see you next week. Bye.